Holy moly, patch number 1 is here. I have not read anything. We're just gonna jump right into it, off the cuff reaction. We're gonna go over it. If you didn't want to read the patch notes, this is the video for you. If you've read them and don't want to hear me react to them, this is probably not the video for you, so like the video and go watch it, everyone. Anyway, here we go. Patch 1. This is so exciting. So it's gonna take 4 hours. If you're watching this video right now, the patch has started. Hopefully I'll get this up by the time the game goes down. And then 4 hours after that, service will return. I imagine that's Iron Mace giving us a really big buffer. So the one thing I do know about this patch is that there's 2 big sections. We have a bunch of fixes here to start, and then we've got a bunch of the changes. So fixes, stuff that's important. I did go ahead and look through this just so we could skim through it fairly quickly. And by the way, pardon the weird, creepy background that we're working with right now. I don't normally record at night, so lighting is just horrible. Anyway, point is, there's a couple things in here. Fixed an issue where reactive shield and dark reflection cannot be activated. That's like basically some of the return damage skills. And also we will be going over some of my predictions that I made in the last video. Not a lot of people watched that, I don't blame you. But if you did watch that, we'll be talking about whether I was right or not. So that'll be fun. And then lanterns would sometimes not light up. I'm sure you've had this issue, you had to throw your lantern sometimes. Goblins weren't making sounds. If you drank a potion and used stealth outside of Dark Swarm, stealth would not be broken. Fixed an issue in the trading post where the text was too long, would disappear instead of printed. Bunch of issues. Don't worry about it. That's all fixed. Let's get to the important stuff, the updates. Boy, am I excited. We're gonna start at the top here, and I wanna make sure I'm giving you guys a good view of stuff. Don't look too far ahead, okay? We'll start right in the middle here. So, sounds have been added to the UI. Items, perks, skills, spells, etc. Interesting. We've got some new sound effects. Water sounds now play when you step on water. There's a couple places in game where there's water. 7 new emotes. Hopefully some of those we can use the bluestone shards. That'd be nice. A feature has been added to receive server maintenance notices in-game. Lovely. That's a big step for this game, honestly, because the fact that they were only announcing it on Discord when you're playing is kind of an issue. That's great. Good to see. We love additional protection against security vulnerabilities. Barbarian and Fighters' face shapes have been modified. A new look for Barbs and Fighters. Interesting. Bard has been reworked to make the class more gear and attribute dependent. Boom! Didn't take long, but there's a big one. We love that. Love that. That is actually... I didn't think it was going to happen, but here we are. Bards are going to have to buy gear, you freaking scumbags. Everyone hates trading in the Bard channel because it's like 90% not Bards. It's like impossible. Every piece of Bard gear was 50 gold. Love that. We've added new attributes. Manual dexterity and persuasion. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. I don't know if we're going to be able to know what these do yet, but my guess is persuasion has to do with the quest system. Awesome. And manual dexterity, I imagine, is going to have to be probably a new skill that has to deal with maybe lockpicking, and like it'll be potentially like a replacement for resourcefulness in some cases. This will be interesting. Manual dexterity. Wow, I have no idea what that could apply to that is like currently resourcefulness. Like you could take everything that applies to resourcefulness. Resourcefulness, by the way, by the game's definition, was supposed to help scale the size of your backpack. We obviously haven't seen that. It's interesting. And I don't know if they've taken that text out, by the way, but it used to be buried in the UI where like you looked at what resourcefulness did and it would say backpack size. So very interesting. Warlock's Curse of Pain now has a slightly more generous aim. Love that. Really hard spell to aim. Didn't expect it, but love to see it. Here's our big Warlock change, and oh my god, I just took a peek at the end. Holy moly, 2 new perks, Curse Mastery and Vampirism. We can kind of assume what those do, but we'll have to figure out what they are when we actually launch the game. 8 new spells have been added to Warlocks. Bolt of Darkness, Evil Eye, Bloodstained Blade, Flame Walker, Life Drain, Ray of Darkness, Eldritch Shield. There it is, folks. Summon Hydra. You totally can't see it. Oh my god, you can't even see it. I failed. Hold on. Wait, it's coming. Let me see if I can fix this. Oh my god. Streamer is very new. There it is. There we go. Summon Hydra. At least I'm looking, okay? I could have gone the whole video and not looked. At least I looked. Okay, I'll fix this up just a little bit more here. Good God. How unprofessional. Summon Hydra. These look so cool. Ray of Darkness looks like a new damaging spell. Life Drain looks like a new damaging spell. Flame Walker could literally mean walking on fire. Bolt of Darkness seems like a damaging spell. Evil Eye. This looks like it might also be kind of a summon spell. You like put an eye up in the sky, or maybe it has to do with seeing invisible targets. Oh, I'm excited. Warlock got exactly the treatment I thought it would. Tons of new spells. Awesome. Rogue will no longer break stealth when bumped if the pickpocket perk is equipped. Ah, interesting new buff to pickpocket. Love to see that. Rogue's hide cooldown. Okay, Rogues, here comes. It's coming back. Rogue's hide cooldown changed from 45 seconds to 40. Rogue's cutthroat cooldown changed from 60 seconds to 28. Huge cutthroat buff. Wow, interesting. Okay, okay. Ranger's quick shot now fires a different amount of arrows based on the bow type. Another win for your boy. That's triple shot. Absolutely nerfed. The cooldown has been reduced from, or increased, I should say, from 18 seconds to 28. Huge nerf. However, the multi-shot, the 5-point shot, the spread shot, has been changed from a 35-second cooldown to a 28-second cooldown. Big buff to multi-shot. Pen shot has also been buffed. Oh, man. Wow. Hunting traps now only deal 1 damage per second at all rarities. Okay, that's a big hunting trap nerf. Interesting. And that's it. That's it. Wow. Ranger, I think we escaped, guys. Ranger mains, I think we escaped. Crazy. Wizard's fireball damage. We're down from 30-15 to 25-10. Pretty sizable nerf. The 10 is the AoE damage, and the 25 is the impact damage. That's a pretty significant nerf. And here's the other thing we expected. All weapon damage has been rebalanced, so we're going to see a lot of weapons doing a lot less damage. They really just hid this. Just snuck this in here. All weapon damage has been rebalanced. Wow. Love to see it, but I think we're going to have to make another video as soon as the patch comes up and just talk about, like, get in game and take a look at things. And see the differences. This is going to be interesting. Most armors have been updated and given in additional bonuses in addition to just armor rating. Very cool. Wow. Okay. Armor rating curve slightly reduced at the upper end due to the high overall armor values. Okay. So we're getting more armor at lower levels. Interesting. But all weapon damage has been rebalanced. Interesting. Due to the higher overall, I guess higher overall armor values on high-end armor, so not the lower end. Interesting. I'm imagining these bonuses, by the way, are in the realm of how, like, Dark Plate works, where it also gives you magic resistance. I'm betting a lot of armor is now going to come with +1 agility, +1 strength, stuff like that, which explains why we're, in part, getting all weapon damage has been rebalanced, because we're going to have more armors that give stats. So very interesting. Very, very interesting. The value range of most random modifiers has been rebalanced. So that's stuff like, pretty much, I mean, I would assume any stat value on a weapon has been rebalanced. So not sure in what direction. That might mean +2 all might be back in play. That might mean +1 all is all we see. It might mean we see more individual, attribute increases. Given that we have 2 new attributes, theoretically, plus all attribute scores are even more valuable, so who knows. Battle Axe now has a slightly longer range, okay, little buff to the Battle Axe. Torches and Lanterns give a slight movement speed advantage rather than a penalty. Great change, great change. Drum and Lyre are given some rarity skins. You might have already noticed a lot of the weapons, in fact, all of the weapons, have slight changes to them as you level up, mostly in, like, the handles and the woodwork of a lot of the weapons. You start getting, like, cloth and things. Anyway, so rarity-specific skins for the Drum and Lyre. Ooh, and this is a huge change. Wow. This is a huge change, and one that I don't know that I'm necessarily a fan of, but here it is. A coin bag that holds up to 500 gold coins has been added. You have to craft it at the leathersmith. Okay, that could be a very expensive craft. We'll see. We do know that there's, like, crafting materials you can find in game. Interesting. And this coin chest, by the way, that holds 3,000 gold, probably a 2x2, I would assume. Maybe even a 2x3. Can only be found in treasure hoards. So that's a really interesting way for Iron Mace to tackle a couple things. One, big complaints from literally everybody except for me that said, like, hey, we need more inventory space. We need more stash space. Interesting that they're making that stash space for coins and not armors. We'll see how that goes. I like that they haven't increased the stash size, but if anything, I would have loved to have seen ways to hoard gear as opposed to coin. That's just my personal take on that, but we'll, you know, we can talk more about that as we see how it affects the game. Gear fear is a great thing to get rid of, and one way to get rid of gear fear is to stop people from hoarding. I know it's a little backwards, but either way, that's kind of how I see it. 4 new artifacts have been added. Echo of Screams, Soul Reaper, Death Bloom, and Stinky Stick. Incredible. Cloth simulation has been slightly optimized. And by the way, these artifacts, I believe, are the, like, unique to certain type of enemies items that you can get and sell to the, currently only the treasurer, but they kind of look like they'd be crafting ingredients. Hopefully that's a thing. Item skins are now displayed properly on the paper doll. No idea what that is. More lockpicks. Lockpick drop rate has been increased. So whether they've increased it through literally just increasing its drop rate on monsters that drop it, we're talking death bats, skeleton champions. I believe the mages too. Skeletal mages can drop them. There's a couple other that I'm missing here. Centipede. I think the black worms can drop them as well. So whether they've just buffed that straight up, or they've added it to some other monsters and thus have increased the drop rate as a whole, based on how many monsters you kill. I'd imagine it's the former, but we'll keep an eye on it. We'll see. Interesting. The name of level modules are now displayed on the minimap. Whoa! That's huge. Oh, we have so many callouts that, like, we've already established that are just going to be completely thrown out the window because the game is going to now name the rooms. I'm so sorry, streamers. You're getting sniped even worse now. That's a really, actually, like, that's a horrible change for streamers, but as a whole, probably a pretty good update. Additional layouts have been added to the normal Goblin Caves map pool. Love that. Absolutely love that. High Roller Crypt map increased from a 4x4 to a 5x5. The map is bigger. Whoa. And the normal and High Roller Crypt now share the same map pool. Oh, that's awesome. I really like the High Roller map, and but I can't always play High Roller. That's actually fantastic. That makes me really happy. Added an extra Dark Swarm phase so players don't need to traverse as much distance at once. Interesting. We'll see if this is... this shouldn't affect overall time in the dungeon, but should give you more time to get from place to place. So essentially, the Dark Swarm will still close in 10 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever it is. But it will close in fewer increments, or excuse me, more increments. So you'll have kind of... it'll feel like you have more time. That's cool. Updated environments for approximately 40 level modules. So we'll see some, like, actual changes to some of the modules. That's cool. And I say modules, rooms, they have to be called modules because, like, there's outside places, but, you know, rooms. Whew! This is already super exciting. And quite honestly, I don't think we're going to see any other class changes. Kind of nailed it. Although I expected some fighter changes and we didn't get any, so I will own up to that one. No fighter changes. Very interesting. Level object density for the ruins and crypts has been increased. Level object density. Does that mean more pots? More pots and boxes? I guess? Object density. Wow, I don't know exactly what that means, but interesting. A portal has been added to the outskirts of ruins. Okay, so more chances to get out in ruins. This is one of those maps. Oh my god, excuse me, it's been a long day. And I'm talking a lot, I'm not breathing. Ruins feels like if you're the only one who survives, you get out, and if not, there's like mutually assured destruction at the end. So that's good. That's probably good. The rusty iron door has been re-added to the high roller pool. Okay, so this is the door that opened, I believe, with either a golden key or a skull key, I think. I'm not entirely sure about that. Royal coffins have been added to the dungeon. Okay, so we've got like wood coffins, stone coffins, and royal coffins. Royal coffins, I imagine, are going to take a lockpick. Interesting. Previous gold chests have returned to the dungeons as marvelous chests. The gold chests are dead. We now have marvelous chests. Wonder why. Interesting. This feels like a legal change to me. But I guess we'll see. Oh my gosh. Okay, additional attack patterns have been added to the Nightmare version of the monsters in the Goblin Cave. So Nightmare, I believe... Was it Nightmare? Are Nightmare the black ones or just the red ones? I never remember. But either way, more movesets on Goblin Cave champion variants. Some people call them champions because that's like the Binding of Isaac term. And I'm pretty sure it well predates Binding of Isaac. So anyway, Skeleton Champion animations have been updated. That's interesting. Royal Guard animation has been updated. That is the... these are the minions to the Skeleton Lord boss. So they've had their animations updated. The Ruins has a sub-boss, the Golem. Ooh, exciting. Currently, I think you only had, like, the cockatrice that would count as, like, a sub-boss. The Skeleton Champions, I believe, are considered sub-bosses. Some of us call them demi-bosses, mini-bosses, whatever you want to call them. Merchants have been updated to sell a much larger amount and variety of items. This is going to go over very well with people. People do not like the trading. And it looks like they are not changing the 1 to 15 queue. So that's a big change. Whatever they've seen with the 1 to 15 queue, they currently like, or they're not planning on, or maybe they're planning on changing it later. They need more information, but this is good. So basically, once you have a decent little bit of money, you'll actually be able to buy the weapon that you want and then go into the dungeon. This is, and then there will also be like lots of other pickings. This is great. This will also like normalize trade prices for a lot of things. This is good. I like this. A greater luck potion has been added, certainly for 100 gold. The current luck potion is just 50. Something you definitely want to use if you are going down to the lower floor, because you're just spending so much time looting that like having more luck is definitely worth it. But as with everything luck related, it's luck. So who knows? Oh my god, I'm so sorry I'm yawning. This is actually so exciting, and I've just had a long day. New craft and mining items added, so no quests, but we will be able to use, I imagine, some of those things we're finding in the dungeon to craft things. So that should be really interesting, and will give a reason to sell some of those craftable items to players. Equipment slot filter has been added to the trading post. Bless up. Thank you. Trading post now displays timestamps, and several other changes not listed were included. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wow. Okay. Well, before this video becomes a 20-minute long video, and before I keep yawning, because, oh my god, there's nothing worse than watching someone talk about something and having them yawn about it. It doesn't instill confidence, does it? Before we go any further, that's really it, folks. This is really exciting. Warlock is going to look totally different. You're going to see Warlocks everywhere. Ranger has been nerfed slightly, and by the way, I want to talk about this just briefly. I think what we can expect is for recurve bows to still shoot 3 arrows. I would bet you survival bows shoot 4, and I'll bet you long bows shoot 2. Put it down right now. But we won't be able to know most of how these changes are actually affecting things until we get in and drop in sometime around 11:30. Oh god, we gotta wait till midnight practically. Anyway, as I'm recording this, it's 7:20. So hopefully I can get this up on YouTube in a jiffy. The patch is here. Marvelous chests instead of gold chests. Could be a legal thing, like I said. Anyway, this is exciting. And Rogue is still pretty kill. Sorry, not sorry. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you in the dungeon, folks. I can't wait for patch 1. I hope you're excited too. Hey, I got some stuff right here. That's pretty cool. Check out the previous video. I called a couple of these things, so that's awesome. Anyway, thanks for being here, folks. See you next time.